that guy going, get this guy going. Looking excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right, let's see what we can do over here, guys. Tyler, Brad, Bob. We're gonna have some fun. Okay. We have never done a single thing like this on camera before, but we're gonna do it today. All I'm gonna get is a little of my liquid white. A little bit of my liquid white onto my brush. I'm gonna deposit it across my canvas like so. All right, blend it back and forth. It's a little flippy when it's fresh onto your brush, okay? So don't just go flipping it all over the room. Your significant other will be upset. All right, we'll get up here. We're just gonna cover the entire thing. This will be a literally every single step video because we're showing you every step from the beginning, the very beginning of time. And all we're doing is we took out a 16 by 20 inch canvas. Then we put our liquid white on the canvas, liquid white base coat, or first coat liquid white, whatever you want to use. You can just use linseed oil if you want, but I feel like the white, wet background is what helps blend this color just enough. Right? Now, your arm is going to get really buff after doing this, because you have to scrub it in a lot. You got to give it a good bunch of scrubs to get inside there. Couple scrubs. You ever seen Scrubs? Me either. I watched it like twice. Wasn't into it. There. Nice and done and ready. Okay. Now I'm going to show you the tools that we're going to use, basically because I can hold them all in one hand. Okay. So we're going to use our flat brush from the Paint with Josh set, the liner brush from the Paint with Josh set. It doesn't have to be either of these two, and you can use a fan brush instead of this flat brush. We're gonna use our palette scrapey tool, probably the 1 and 2 inch brush, just to blend some stuff out. And we're gonna have a good old time, guys. Gonna have a good old time. I'm gonna tell you the colors that we've gone through, and then I'll tell you what I've done to my canvas so far. We're gonna use our dark sienna brown, the Van Dyke brown, the really dark burnt umber, whatever the darkest brown is, and then a lighter brown as well. And then I'm gonna introduce you to a couple of paints that you might not have ever seen before. These are by Dr. Sarah Snyder, right? They're custom paints. Her website is drsarahsnyder.com. So exactly how it sounds, drsarahsnyder.com. They're really cool. Some of them are glow in the dark. Some of them are color shifting. She's got things that she's working on as a scientist in the scientific community. So we're gonna use our 2 brown colors. We're gonna use this, glow in the dark orange, which, ooh, I like that. It should be really nice. We're gonna use a lot of our odorless mineral spirits as well. I'm also going to get a bit of that color shift paint that she uses. And this stuff is really neat, but it's very hard to get out of that jar. Remember, she's not a big brand or a big company or anything. She's just doing it herself, putting out some cool things and testing out stuff, being a scientist, right? That's what it's about. That's what I am. I'm a paint scientist because I experiment with paints on the canvas, right? Okay, let's get our flat brush out. Let me show you that color shifting paint. It's very metallic, like that metallic car paint where you look at it one way and it might disappear completely if you're looking at it from one angle, and it might appear when you're looking at it from a different angle. So we're gonna use our Van Dyke brown, our dark sienna brown, our burnt sienna brown from our Windsor set. This is from the Bob Ross set. And then we got our Dr. Sarah Snyder paints over here. Maybe use a little of our Midnight Black, and maybe a little titanium white, but mainly liquid white. We're gonna use the paint that's already up here on our canvas, okay? So you guys tell me where you're watching from. What time is it where you are right now? And I'm gonna show you, I've covered the canvas in our Bob Ross liquid white, or your Grumbacher's first coat liquid white, whatever it is, or whatever they call that thing. So our canvas is wet, okay? And then I'm gonna take this very thick paint and mush it into that canvas. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Gonna be a lot of fun. Make sure you guys give me a thumbs up if you're watching. And I like that video. Okay, we're gonna come in here, a little of our darker Van Dyke brown paint. It's a little smidge of our brown, just so we don't have one solid color up there. Okay, and let's just decide. I don't know where it comes from. Just dump in our base thing. See how it's kind of changing with that, our excess color mixing up, going all crazy boy. toy, however we want it to be, is exactly what it's gonna be, right? We're playing with it. We get to get out there and have a lot of fun and see. You want it to be a little bit bigger? Let's stretch it out a little bit. Maybe we've got a couple little areas that break off and disconnect, and who knows, right? We're gonna play with it by the time that we get done. Maybe there's one up here. Just be weird, okay? Now we're gonna go back with our 1 or 2 inch brush, whatever one makes you more comfortable. And I'm just gonna over mix that area so we get this very light brown. Remember, our canvas is covered in our Bob Ross liquid white, which is gonna have everything spread out, right? We don't need everything to be perfect or on a perfect square or whatever, and it can be blended out to your liking. It doesn't have to do anything. If you don't want it to grow too far, maybe you don't let it grow too far. You're just judging it off of your pressure, right? Your pressure and everything else. We want to have some white areas. We want to have some kind of faded areas. Maybe some areas that are untouched completely, right? Pure white. And all it is kind of grabbing it with the corner of the brush because our canvas is already wet with all that liquidy white paint up there. It's already wet, right? So we're just deciding how far we want that dark kind of haze to extend out, right? Maybe it starts flipping around this side. Little things. Again, we're not trying to have it be the same color, at least I'm not. I don't want it to be the same color up there. I want it to change. I want you to step back and look at it and go, ooh, that's kind of cool. Maybe I could do this, or I could do that, or whatever. It's almost like blending out a little galaxy, but there's such little amount of paint on the canvas, and we're mixing with all that liquid white or Grumbacher's first coat, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Right? We're mixing it all with that so you get these cool changes and differences and little things. That's all you need. It's literally all you need. Out here, let's mix this guy outward a little bit, maybe out over here, and just pushing a little harder if I need some more paint to drop off. Literally. How much cooler can that look? All right, all up to us. That's exactly how cool it can look. Pretty much it. All right, guys, that one's all set. No, I'm just kidding. Let's get back in here now. Let's start adding some details. Now, we're going to be dipping into our odorless mineral spirits a lot of times, dipping into that stuff and getting it up onto the canvas. And it's gonna, I'm just using a little liner brush, right? So, might take you a while, but you don't need to rush it. All right, we'll get over here into our darkest brown color. Just get that liquidy, odorless mineral spirits, our brush cleaner that's on there just to get wet is all you really need it to do. Now, let's come up here and just make a literal mess, kind of skirting it around, pushing it here, there, wherever. Right? The more little cool dark areas that we have, the more fun we're gonna have when we go back to highlight those guys. Right now, let's say maybe this whole thing breaks off. And it connects on over there. Any way you want to do it, you guys, seriously. However you feel like it should be done is what you're gonna do. And in places, we gotta make it real big. Right? I'm just kind of skirting around with that brush, messing it up, making a mess, literally. Right? And the whole time that we do it, it's going to be blending down with our liquid white, so it's gonna get a little bit less bright, a little bit less crazy. Get down over there. Again, how do you want your little crazy thing to look? You got a couple cracks, you got a couple places where, your little guys are growing out there in the night. Maybe we had a little dude over here. Remember, make it big when you first start. Then you can trail off, little thing, wherever we want it to be. We'll get these cool little bits. Now, it may look weird when you first start doing it. I agree. Dude. Black lightning kind of a painting over here. Very cool though. It's such a striking little thing. And we're not doing anything, right? Some of the times you can kind of follow around, right up underneath, just wiggling it, pushing it. Making these cool little things, you guys. Seriously, it's that simple. Right? Cutting over your little dark areas and light areas, and you got places where you're gonna start growing roots or cracks, you know what I mean? The cracks with that darkness, that's fantastic. Please feel free to tell me when to stop, Because that's the part of it too. You don't know when to stop. This is just literally the Van Dyke Brown, right? And a lot of our odorless mineral spirits in order to get it to come off of our brush like that. Right? We don't want it to be nice. We want it to be odd and broken and weird. It's got a little guy that runs all the way over here. Who knows? It's all up to us, guys. Literally. Maybe we leave that spot open in there and make it look like got a little edge on the inside. All things are up to us at all moments. And then you go back and you gotta make it a little crazy. You have to. You don't want it to be perfect. At least I don't want it to be perfect. I don't know about you guys. But it's a bunch of marble cracks, you know what I mean? Like they grow, they bounce off of each other. Maybe this one wants to go this way. However we want it to look, it's exactly how it's gonna look. Pretty much how we do our branches and stuff off of our trees. Just making them weird. Any place you got a little cracky area, right? Wherever you want to go with it, it's totally up to you. Maybe we bounce off of this guy and cut through that guy. Just like that. Little things, guys. The more little things you do, the funner it's going to be. All these little bits. It almost reminds me of that, what was that book that we read as kids, of those scary stories? You know what I mean? God, that's not the coolest thing ever. Whew. And this is just our one color so far. We haven't used any other things. We haven't put any highlights on it. We haven't done anything. Marble likes to follow along its little tracks and grow in and out. So remember that as you're doing it. What was that book, though, that we used to read? Scary Stories book? Well, I mean, Goosebumps, yeah, but there was a book that had like a white cover with a Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. That was it. I remember. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Again, where do you want to grow with your little guy? How do you want it to interact? I just don't want it to be a very sharp bend, right? If you get a sharp kink, then it's not really realistic. But if it kind of grows off of that thing, to me, it just looks a little better. Remember, you guys can grab this one. This is what I do for a living. And I have a little bit of a less expensive one as well that we painted earlier today as a practice for this guy, just to see how long it might take us to do, you know what I mean? And it's all about that blend, and then forget about it. Man, forget what's back there. Get over here and just wiggle and twist your brush and grow and move. And you get all these cool little things back there. Holy shaving cream. Let's come out onto this guy. Little guy. Looks like little branches. And the branches break off and they just keep going. They keep going and they keep going forever. All these cool little things. Yeah. How many little arms branch off of yours, crisscross and meet and continue on? Because again, it's all up to you. This is just that Van Dyke Brown, the deepest and darkest of browns that we have. Trying to stay out of your guys' way. Little things, right? The more you do, the more you're gonna like it, until you reach a point where you go, oh man, I shouldn't have done that last bit. Gonna get a little bit more of my dark sienna brown into this guy. Come down in here, you should see it slightly different. There, a little bit of a different brownish color. And this guy rolls off this way. Wherever, right? Wherever it wants to be, wherever they want to live. It's got a little thing coming up. Going through everything, you guys. It's up to you what you want to do. My God, should I stop right there? Goodness gracious, that's cool. I don't know what it is about it, but that's cool. That is cool. Synopsis. Yeah, like the synapses of the brain. I feel you on that. A little bit more of our lighter brown color. Just gonna go around. There we go. We just need slight little changes, leaving little bits in between. Maybe that guy broke off and went this way. Little difference in color, little different direction. We go back to our darker color now, more pushing on our brush. Look at that, you just wiggle it around and get these cool little cracks to appear. That's the coolest thing ever. All right, let's put maybe 1 or 2 or 3 or 17 more little bits, and then I think we'll be all set. Very light-handed. You can get such a sharp point to this Paint with Josh brush. It's not even funny how sharp this brush can get. Or you can make it big and monstrous and crazy. It's all up to our pressure, right? How much pressure are we putting on the brush? Are we pushing on it with full bore pressure, releasing all the, paint that we can possibly put on there in one go? Or are we holding it lightly enough so just a little bit of that paint comes off? It's all about that pressure. We got our paint on the brush, and then come down. We'll keep this guy nice and dark, and then break off. Bang, right there. Wherever it wants to be. God, that's cool. I don't care what you think. I like this one. I am in like that. Boom, guys. Remember, you can do whatever your mind says to do. This painting will dry very fast because we've just got our liquid white with nothing on it really, right? As soon as some of these are already dry, these little branches. Where's a place? This section that we didn't touch is already dry. That guy's pretty much dry. This one's a little wet, a little bit more wet. That section in between these two areas is already dry because this stuff wants to evaporate, right? It wants to disappear. And so we can do cool stuff with it before it goes walkabouts on us, right? Out here, a little bit bigger. Come down, connect onto that little friend. Why not? You can do whatever you want to do when you do these scenes, when you do any of my scenes. You can do whatever you stinking want. A little bit more of that lighter color brown, just to have some differences so it's not all dark. And don't get me wrong, you can go back in with all black lines as well at the end if you wanted to. All things growing from a different place. I love that. I love that. And doing it just wet on wet, you know what I mean? How many other oil painters are you seeing doing wet on wet marble tutorial techniques? And we're just learning this stuff. It's all about you and how you want it to look, how many places your little guy breaks off and goes a different direction, how thick the lines are, how dark the lines are. It's all up to you guys. How many little pieces break off in your little line? Just jiggle your hand, right? You don't want perfect straight lines out here. We want the jiggliness. So if you're a jiggler and a juggler like me, I juggle. I don't know about you guys. I do other things other than painting. I don't know if you knew that, but I juggle. I can even do it for you right on camera. But you gotta jiggle and juggle and jiggle and juggle your hand around. Beep. To create all these cool little things and different rotating bits and all that stuff. Right? Anywhere that our paint is still very wet, we can just literally mush over it. So you get some of that lighter color for some of my more bright, high-lit paints. Okay? Now let's wash all the darkness out of that brush. Right there. Let's grab a little bit more of our odorless mineral spirits. Let's go into that glow-in-the-dark orange from Dr. Sarah Schneider. I don't know if it is Schneider or Snyder. With the way I say the S and the H, Schneider, I just like it. Okay, a little bit, right? This stuff we need very thin, so it'll come off of our brush. And this stuff is glow in the dark. So even though we have this cool yellow kind of hue in there, in different places, we're gonna have it glow in the dark as well by the time we get done. Now, if you can hear, it's very grainy paint, okay? It has to be that way for the glow-in-the-dark bits to work. It's got to be kind of grainy, so it'll sound like you're painting with sand, but you get these really cool little techniques. And even over some of these areas where you go with your darkness, right, that will still glow in the dark if you charge it in the sun long enough. You'll get that glow-in-the-dark feel to these paints, which are just really cool. I like them. I don't know how many other guys have tried them yet. You can even paint little branches and little twigs with just that glow-in-the-dark stuff as well. Right now, you can also mix it with your liquid white. You can. Some of the times, it takes away its glow-in-the-darkness if you mix it with your liquid white. Depends on the colors, depends on the stuff, but it'll take away some of that glow-in-the-dark stuff. Down here like that, right along that other side of it, just mushing it, pushing it, being weird. Right? All we're looking for is a few little details in that dark area to kind of stand out. That's literally it. And the more that you do it, the more you'll like it, man. A little bit more of my odorless mineral spirits. Come down here. Doesn't have to be everywhere. It came down from the top. Again, you might not see it. It may only leave a little bit of a mark, but it's going to be just enough for what you need it. Right? You don't need everything to be exactly the same. You gotta have some areas of difference in there. I say it all the time. All the time. They love making little, similar looking little ridges. When you're looking at marble, it's a lot of repetition. Going over, staying on the outside of my dark line out here, just to give it a little highlight. You know what I mean? Little things are gonna stand out when you're doing this because there's not much to look at. If there was a ton to look at, then we would be doing less little highlights and such. But it's a lot of fun, guys. I hope you try it. I don't want to do too many little things because I want to throw that color shifting paint in there as well. The color shift. Just come out. Bink. You might not even see that in real life, but you'll see it when it glows in the dark. That's for sure. That's for certains. Very light color. It's such, especially when it's going over that liquid white. And all these little things, get in there real close. Doesn't have to be perfect. Real close. And you can make these cool little effects like your marble has got some depth in there. Right? The lighter color you use, the further away in the, underneath your darkness that stuff will be. So you don't have to have it just connected or going over. Put some of it around in different places and do different things with it, right? Now, let's wash off that glow-in-the-dark paint, get our color shifting stuff. Watch what happens to this when you get that odorless mineral spirits in there. Just watch it. Just watch. Look at that. It literally, it's shining while it's, hang on, let me get a little bit more. It's shining while it's dripping down. Whoop, that's too much. There we go. There, I'm gonna tip the palette. You better be ready to see it. Look at that stuff. See it dripping all the way down. So we're gonna stay back here. We're gonna use this stuff and see. Oh my goodness. That stuff is gorgeous. Connect on up here. And now we'll get these cool color shifting effects. Oh, that's gonna be neat. That is gonna be neat. Gonna go right above that glow-in-the-dark area. And again, not every paint or everything has to leave a line. This is that color shifting paint right here, just solely color shift. Right, so we'll have all these cool little differences by the time that we get done. Over our little guy, maybe break off. Right along the edge. Remember, it wants to make little rows. That's how they grows. They make little rows. Oh, dudes. Cut straight through whatever you want too. You don't have to do anything, remember. But if you put on too many, you're not gonna like it, man. You just won't like it if you put on too many, so don't do too many. I was doing earlier and I got a little crazy. Put on a fair amount of them. Again, mush that stuff on. Even if it doesn't show, it will show when the light is hitting it. Right? So even if you think like, oh, it's just going dark over my dark, that's okay. It's going to shift. The color will change. And we'll get these cool little things happening when you, especially when you look at it from different angles and you get that color shifting effect. That's why we're using this stuff today. Literally. I think it's cool. I don't know about you guys. I think it's cool. There. Came off of this guy. Alright, the reason that we use that darkness is because this isn't very dark. It's not very dark at all, and so it'll want to stand out Oh, that's cool. It's gonna want to stand out in our painting as being very bright. Let's get in here with this guy too, see if we can't get some of that color shift just right up into there. Right inside, it'd be like a geode. You open up a geode and you get all those cool little things that happen. Little sparkles, and all this will sparkle like crazy. If you can get enough of it on there, that's the key. Right? Get enough of it onto your brush and enough of it onto the canvas, and we'll have that cool effect that we're all looking for. That. Roll it down for this guy. And again, it will look different from every light angle that you do. Break off. Look how thin of a line you can get with those that Paint Majaj brush, that minor brush. Insane. Over here. Oh my, that is, it's like tannish, brownish, purplish, tealish, all different the way that you look at it, right? If you're looking at it from one way, you'll see something. Looking at it from a different way, you might see something else. Not all these have to be perfectly straight either. Right? Give them a little jiggle. I like jiggling my hand as we go down, down, down. Just like that, literally. You gotta have some seams in there. That's how this stuff grows. More of that color shift. Break off, come back, connect in again. Right? You can have little pieces like that. You really can. They're out there in the crystals, man. They're in the crystals, man. They're out there. Okay, let's see where else we go with this guy. Little bits, little things, breaking off that color shifting paint with a lot of our odorless mineral spirits into it. Right, and we'll have all these way cool little things happening each time that we go to do it. Look a little different, isn't it? Zip. Over there. Off and around the edge. And it doesn't have to be everywhere. Oh, it's such a cool teal. Like the more you spin around it and start looking at it from different angles, the cooler it starts to look. Oh, I love this paint. I love this paint. Zip. Break off. Come over here too. Little things in the day, like that. Little things in the marble. Cut across, cut into it, go through it, connect on to something else, and just follow it. You know what I mean? That's all we're doing. You guys can do this, I swear it. I swear you can do it. I know you can. I already know it in my heart. You can get it done. Especially this, you guys can do this. This is just making a calculated mess is all. You know what I mean? You could do this. I know it. Down. A little bit more of our odorless mineral spirits, and we've only been painting for a half hour, guys, seriously. So, I know you can do it. Don't give me that stuff, I can't do it, John. I know you can. I'm already knowing, I can already see your first painting that you're gonna send me. I can already see it. Because you can do it. You really can. Bob used to say that stuff all the time to me. Well, via video. I never met him in real life. Boy, that would have been a cool experience, wouldn't it? But he used to say it all the time. You can do it. Anybody can do it if they just want it a little bit. You just want it. You can do it. Honestly. Wait to see. Oh my, that's the coolest thing, because it doesn't look too sparkly from certain angles, and then you get in there and from that angle change and that color shifting paint, you see the sparkles, and it's freaking rad. It's just like a metallic paint on a car. I love it. I love it. It is very thick and it's very grainy, so it does take a fair amount of our odorless mineral spirits to keep it wet enough to rock and roll. You know what I mean? But, oh, that is so cool. It is literally so cool. This guy out here, a little bit more. I'm just going to try to brighten some of these areas with that color shifting paint. Fill in a whole little section back there. It's gonna, and that way, again, it will change by the time that you are looking at it. Even if you're looking at it from your living room, or you're looking at it from your dining room, or wherever, right? It will be different because of this color shift. And I just think it's the bee's knees. I don't know about you guys. The beeses of kneeses. Come up like that. Who cares? It's just like a little seam of gorgeousness inside of our painting. Okay. Get off of this guy. Zip. Zap. Wherever. A couple little doers here. Connect on over there. I like that though, you guys. Seriously. There is nothing wrong with that little guy. Just like doing tree roots or branches. We're just trying to be careful, right? We're trying to control our pressure. And if we can control that pressure well enough, then we're going to be having fun. Zip. Who knows where you go when you do yours? But I bet you you're going to have a fun time doing it. Because you can do whatever we want to do. You want to go a certain way, you can. You want to bounce out over here, you can do it. You want to come off of this guy and go back, you can. You want to go out and extend it and go over there, you can. You can do whatever you want to do. That's what makes it so fun. Literally so fun. There we go. Connect onto him. Zip. Literally, watch. Just there's like no paint on the brush. Barely anything. Maybe connect onto something, grab it, pull it out. Connect onto something else up here. Go off and keep going along that weird little thing. Because some of the times you get these hairline cracks and different stuff that just play fantastically. And the more that you do, the cooler stuff happens, right? Let's see what it might look like too if we took into some of these thicker areas. That stuff is so, it does not want to come off. There we go. My palette scrapey tool, just to have an area. I wanted to see what it would look like with the tool in there to get a different little effect. How you could drop it on, or this, that, or the other. Because it's such a thick consistency, you almost got to mush it on there. Zip. We'll have a really bright area of color shift right there. Now, because it's going to be real bright, now I want to go back through with our darker paint. Get that darker Van Dyke brown. Just cut right through there, right around it, right? So we can save it. It almost turns it into like a little geode out there. Zip, zap, zoop. How far can you go? How low can you go? Over here. And continue off. It breaks on over that side. Over here. Literally, how many little things can you make happen when you're doing your little friend? Because it's all up to you every time, and they're going to look different every single time. They'll look a little bit different. Cracks over here, over there. All right, you guys let me know. You're going to have to start coming up with a title for this painting right here. Because whether or not it finds a new home or not, we still have to title it. Let's not do too many, guys. Too many little things out there. We'll even toss in, because we can't do a paint with Josh painting without having these little guys. So we'll attach them onto bits of those where they can break off. You gotta have the little bird family in there, of course. But that's a really cool little thing, I think. Very simple, right? You don't have to do too much. You don't have to get crazy, but I like it. Yeah, it's neat. And then you get that color shift. Synapsis. I like that for a title. Background color's amazing. Appreciate you. It's just mainly just that brown mixed with our liquid white is all it is. And if you wanted to, maybe it's a bit too bright in here. We need just a little bit of our color to come back and just soften it. So soft. So soft. There. Get that little haze. Zip. The more haze and the more paint you grab, the more haziness you're going to have in there too. So, little things you can do. I know you guys can. Bang. Just like that. Now, what if we had this thing over here? Weird, dude. Just making it weird. Again, kind of filling back behind it. Maybe there's another little spot, another little spot. Just don't take too long when you're doing it. You know what I mean? You take too long, you're just not gonna like it. You gotta be quick. Something big pops out into the opening from either side. Bang, up through here. All up to us every time, but you guys start coming up with a title. And then if somebody grabs this one, they get to pick the title forever. And if not, then that's okay. It's all right. We do have other ones on my website. Everything from wave scenes to ice cold scenes, tropical, nighttime, daytime, sunset, all sorts of stuff. Over on paintwithjosh.com that you guys can grab. It's really cool. If anything, I might put a little bit of white in there as well. Just a little bit. Thanks, Dark Phoenix. Appreciate ya. That's awesome. Thank you for that. Sent me a super. Love ya. Veins of Time. That's a cool title right there. That's cool, guys. That's cool. It's too cool for school. Since it's so bright in here, we just had a couple little indications of some details or something, right? Yes! Just little things. They don't all have to connect. We're not trying to cover all the bright area. We gotta have something out there that's breaking up all that brightness. Bang, right through there. Gorgeous. Guys, I love it. I love the soft color behind it. I love everything. I'm gonna go put it up on the, I'll use it as my kitchen counter here, is what I'm gonna do. That's so cool. So cool. Cool. That little bit of color to, it was kind of blocked up right there, a little bunchy. So we have to take that guy out. All right, you guys start coming up with a title. Like I said, if you grab this one, you get to pick its name for all mankind, for all time in history. It is up to you to choose what to title this guy, right? But you got to get it during the live show. If you don't get it during the live show, then you only can be chosen at random to choose it, to be picked, right? So type it in. If you purchase it, you get to title it. If not, then we're going to come up with it as a group, and we're going to have a lot of fun. I think it came out really cool. Super easy, super, different. Everybody can have their own look to it. You know what I mean? All the time. Lost my marbles. I like that. I like that. Wish I had someone to thank you, Captain Cook. Appreciate that. The Dark Veins. Deep Crevices. I like. That's a cool title. That's a cool title over there. Right? It's all, again, how you like it, but eventually you have to stop putting stuff down because you're going to cover over something that you do like. Maybe in here, though. There. Over there. This little guy, I had to get a little fillage because it's got that color shift paint over the top. There. Right? Again, little things that are going to change, they're going to happen, they're going to mix and blend, and I'm putting this brush away for the very last time. No more. No more little deets. You can always go back and paint it differently a different time, right? But we can see yellow, we can see brown, we can see that color shift, which is kind of like tannish colored until you get into its real heavy areas where you can see the color shifting paint. That's way cool, dude. Way cool. Cracks in Reality. That's a title. That's a title for you. Just shiggle and a half, you guys. Cracks in Reality. what I need is for this guy to just be dark. The more that I touch it, the more bright it becomes there. So if we can just kind of dab at it with that very dark paint and not drag it through that titanium white or liquid white, it should stay nice and dark like that. Very, very cool. Remember, not every place has to have a thing that grows off of it, right? It's all up to us, guys, every time. So no matter what it looks like, the next time you can do it a little differently. You can use a different color, you can change it up. I really want to see your guys' versions of this. You know what's cool too? You can take the whole thing and put a mountain, like let it dry, and then go paint a mountain over the top. Or take it out right now, flip it upside down, turn it the other way around, see which way you like it the best. You know what I mean? Because you might be looking at it from the wrong angle. So you guys come up with a title. I'm going to wash off these like 3 brushes that we used for our whole painting. And then we'll be all set. That guy. And that's it right there. So I hope you guys have come up with a title. This one would look perfect in that gold marble frame, in fact, that we have, but I can't give you that. I can't, for the price that the painting is, I cannot include that frame for what it is. But if you had one like it, marbled life, I like that too. How could we have missed this one spot way the heck up here? For this whole time and not have it have been as dark as we wanted it to be up here. It's because I can't see this area. There we go. Connection, make it a little thicker, just to fill in some spaces. There, I like it. I like that better. Maybe come off of this guy. Wherever we want to go. You're in control. You're in. Yes, you are in control, not you're in. You're in control. You are. You are. So, let's get a title for it, guys. What are we going to do? Lost his marbles, because it's a marble slab. I like that. I like that. Darkness Lives. That's cool. Brain Games is another one. Hidden Dragon. Like that as well. Right, what animal shape do you see in the empty spaces in between is the key. Right, all up to us, guys. You know what, too? This is, again, like the 100th time I've taken this brush out after I've already cleaned it. This is, again, the 100th time right here. Because I want this all darker. There, maybe a little light spot in there, but if it's dark, it's deep. You know what I mean? If you get depth in there, because of the blackness, then it makes it really dark. So if anything, I'll use a little bit of my midnight black. Just go across this area. There we go. There. So that midnight black stand out beyond that brown, because we don't want to use our darkest colors right off the bat. Right? And even the black now. You can do little details, little stuffs, little things, and have it blend or whatever you want. Right? It's all up to you every time. Very cool. Okay, seriously, wash the brush now. Not doing any more. Well, I was hoping this one would find a new home, and that would have spurred me to do a second show, but it's okay. It's okay. We will come back on Thursday and try it again. So, let's get a name for the painting, and then we'll be all set. Looks like upside down old trees. I like that. Kind of cool. Spider synapsis. Can we see it glow? So, you have to go put it out in the dark. It does not glow, because I did another one over here. Let me show you this guy. This one we did earlier today, kind of similar, went a little bit more crazy with our yellows and stuff in an attempt to make it glow in the dark a bit better. So it glows in the dark when you take a photo of it, right? And it's much brighter when you're taking a photo of it, and when you're looking at it in real life, it doesn't really glow that much. You know what I mean? It's not like you're thinking where the whole thing is glowing. We might get a few little spots in these arms and different places where the paint can absorb that glow in the dark effect. But you got to leave it in the sun for a while, and then when you do go inside, I took it inside, I took a video of it, came out really cool on the video. I took my phone down and looked at it in real life, and you can't really see it glowing that well. I didn't leave it outside for very long, but you know what I mean. Just being honest, it glows better on video than it does in person. This one I also have available. We just did this guy earlier today, right? That's $17.98. This one's $17.99. So whichever one you like, head over there, grab it. We'll pick a title, and then we'll get out of here, you guys. Fractured Time. I like that, Steve. Steve. Fractured Time. Venomous is cool. The Marble Verse. I dig that. I like Max Squatch's one of Lost My Marbles. Dre, this one's $209. If you get it during the live show, you get a free gift. The other one, I think, is $129, but that one does not come with a free gift. Into the Marble Verse. Cool. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. It's a lot of fun just to sit here and mess around with stuff. You know what I mean? Again, I know I said that I was done with the brush, but I keep seeing things. I want a little bit darker. It's right in the center of that spot in there. Deepest, darkest, shadowy area that you just can't see down into. Just another excuse to wash my brush, that's all. Okay. I'm thinking, guys, I was hoping I wouldn't have to choose it, because you guys always put out the best titles. So I was hoping I wouldn't have to pick, but apparently I'm going to have to pick. So, let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Came out very cool. Appreciate you. Looks great. Appreciate it. There's so many little things you can do with this thing, too. So many different things to do. Neuron Delight. I like that. On the Rocks, because marble, right? Fractured Time is cool. Let's see. Patty, this one is done. You can actually see the glow in the, or that color shift paint a bit better from way over here on Facebook. You can kind of see it a little bit on YouTube as well. That stuff that's in here is that color shifting kind of galaxy paint. Same thing down in there. It's going to be really cool. It's going to be really cool. Okay, so let's pick... Boom, ba boom. Ulterior Motives. Into the Marble Verse. All right. Looks like an egg. I feel that. Cracked egg. Thorns of Darkness. That's cool. We are using oil, yes. Neuron on the Rock. Shocking. That's cool. Cracks. That's what I like that one. We'll do Cracks in Reality. Because that's a cool title. I like that. Cracks in Reality. Here, over there. Didn't take long to do. It should dry relatively quickly because we don't have a lot of texture on there. The liquid white is spread very thin, you know what I mean? So you don't have to worry about it taking too long to dry, especially if you do one like this for somebody else as a gift or whatever. And you guys know me, I'm always like last second gift. So this would be a good one in order to do and have it dry to give to somebody. Bang, bang, bang. This one was painted on the 14th, so 4/14, 2025. We're all gonna go to paintwithjosh.com because it's the best place ever. Excellent title, awesome little painting tutorial. Didn't take too long at all, and it's very simple. Just use a couple colors. If you don't have these color shifting colors, what should I use, Josh? That's a good question. That is a grand question, right? Because what I would do, if I didn't have these color shifting bits, I would use our Van Dyke Brown and then Dark Sienna is what we did on the first one. And then when I went back, it was a little bit of Indian yellow, a little liquid white. All depends on what you want it to look like every time you want it to look like that. Right? We get to choose. And if anything, Don't wash your brush because you have to go back and use it a whole bunch more. Make it big. Make it weird. Right? Make it stand out. Make it dark. Do whatever you got to do to make yourself happy. Okay. You guys, I want to thank you for watching and tuning in. You've been amazing. I just love you. And we'll come back on Thursday and we'll do something different, do something crazy. And we'll have a good old time while we do it. It's going to be a lot of fun. So everybody watching over on Facebook and on YouTube, I love you guys. Can't wait to see your versions. Please give it a try. It's a lot of fun. It's very free, very flowing. Just use a little bit of paint and a very small amount of pressure. Right? You've seen me do it right here. It's a literally every single step video. I showed you every single step on how to do every single thing. So until I see you guys again next time, take care. Have the rest of a good day and blah, blah. Boosh, you guys. That came out really cool. Really cool. I like both of them equally.